Welcome back to part 3 of our food web series, everybody. I'll be minimizing this video of me so nobody needs to be distracted by my very overdue haircut. And I'll be going back to our food web project directions document. And where I left off before, we needed to still talk about step 2 and beyond. In step 2, you simply pick a biome that you'd like to research and learn more about. So you can finish both of these sentences here. When you get into part 3, you'll be basically practicing what are some of the food chains that exist inside the biome that you're researching. Remember, a food web is simply multiple food chains within the same ecosystem that interact with each other and they tangle up with each other. And so it becomes much more of a web formation than a single chain. To do this practice in this table right here, you'll simply be identifying what are several food chains within your ecosystem or your biome. This row will represent one food chain. This row would then represent another food chain within that same ecosystem. It is possible to reuse some species, whether it's a plant or producer or a consumer / animal. In one row to the next row, it's okay to reuse some. However, try to include as many species as you can. As an example, for this first row, you'll want to pick a plant that's in your biome. Remember, plants are the producers. What's the name of that plant? Find a picture that you could use, or you could draw a picture. And that plant gets eaten by, figure out in your biome what eats that. Pick an animal that eats that plant. Type its name here. Find a picture that you can copy and paste here, or maybe you can draw one. So that type of animal is called an herbivore because it eats that plant. This animal might get eaten by another animal. So pick another animal that's in your species that actually uses that other animal as a food source. Write its name, find a picture, and then if you're able to find yet another predator, it's probably going to be an apex predator or keystone species in your biome. You can include that information here as well. Please include as many rows as you can. This will provide you plenty of information that you could then use to create your real food web. I'll take a quick break to show you this document once again, and you can use this to create your food web. You can see how this is not a simple food chain that this diagram is showing. Instead, it's several food chains that end up being somewhat tangled up with each other because one chain might go in this direction while another chain might go in this direction or in this direction, and they end up becoming quite tangled with each other, which makes a food web. Some requirements that your food web needs to meet is having a title, making sure your name is on it, and for every organism that you've researched, what is its name? Make sure that's labeled. Make sure you include a picture, and make sure you include whether it is a producer or a consumer or a decomposer. You need to include arrows between every species, and those arrows should be connecting the different organisms to each other, and they should show which direction the energy is going. For decomposers, think of it like this. What organisms break down the dead plants and animals and wastes in your biome? The following are optional requirements. However, if you include them, it shows you have a very high understanding of how food webs work. How is matter recycled in your food web? Can some arrows represent decomposed matter being re-added to the soil or water for producers to use? Maybe you can find a way to show that. What is the energy input? Where does the energy going through your food web originally come from? I'll give you a big hint. On a nice sunny day, you can see it outside very clearly. And then for the energy output, what type of energy does it leave as? Think about when you are exercising, what type of energy escapes your body? And then apply that knowledge to everything out in the world that is also surviving in the real world. That's it for now. Good luck, everybody. You can do this.